Okay, so today is November 14th, 2018. This is Solving Quadratics. But we have to talk about the backstory, and this is what we did in class today. So the first thing that we need to focus on is how we go about simplifying a radical, because some of your answers is going to be in radical form, meaning you're going to have a square root sign inside of your question. So what's going to happen here is since we have a radical, we want to simplify that in the way how I showed you how to do it in class, is using a factor tree. So there's going to be two numbers that's going to multiply and give you 112, and those two numbers are going to be 4 and 28. Okay, now 4 2 times 2 will give you 4, and then for 28 is actually going to be, we can use 2 and 14 like we did in class, or we can use 7 and 4. Either way, it's still going to come out with the same thing. Okay, we can't do anything with the 2s. We just going to bring that down. Okay, these are all being multiplied. And then with 14, we can get 2 times 7. Okay, so what's going to happen here is that all of these things are still underneath the same radical sign. Okay, so I got 4 2s times 7. So the 2s are going to leave out. Okay, so I have this 2 on the outside, and now I'll also have another 2. Whoops, I'm really running out of space here. So that should be 2 times 2 on the outside. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 2 times 2 with the square root of 7. And yes, this is totally legal. So what's going to happen then is my final answer is going to be 4 square root 7. So this is what you would get if we simplify the square root of 112. I'm laughing because Miss Emma is in the hallway singing. Okay, so 4 square root 7. That's going to be our final answer. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get the calculator to show you a way that you can check to know if you are doing it right. Okay, so what happens is you may get a multiple choice response on a test that may say, okay, what will be the simplified radical form of the square root of 112? Well, we just came up with this. Okay, but let's just say you don't have the great calculator that you have in class. You got stuck with a different version, not the CAS version. Okay, so what would happen is when you type in the, when you type in the square root of 112, you get 4 square root 7. But let's just say that we didn't know that. So right down in here, you have the approximate button right above enter, and it's in blue. So since it's in blue, we got to press the blue control button. So we would press control, and we would get 10.58. I hope you can see that well enough. Okay, now let's just say I'm going to put this here. This is also approximately 10.58. Okay, we're getting close. Now, what you would do here, if you did not get that, you would have to go ahead and put each one of those inside the calculator. So that's what Miss Gable's going to do. I'm going to pause it because I don't want to waste time. Okay, so what you can see here is put in the answer choices that we had. 7 square root 4, and I got 14 because that's actually the square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 will give you 4, so we get 14 there. And then 4 square root 7, we got the same 10.583, which is what we had there. And then for C, we had 5 square root 7, which is 13.22. So this is a way that you can check to make sure that you have the right answer. So here we had 14. Here we had our same 10.58. And here we had 13.23. It says 0.228, but we can round that up. Okay, I want to fix this. Shouldn't be an approximate sign. This is actually what it equals. All right. Ta-da! Okay, so this one here says solving the equation solve the equation using square roots. Okay, so what's going to happen is in algebra 2, they'll say solve the equation using square roots. But in algebra 1, they'll just tell you solve for a. Okay, so what we're going to do is if we have a squared here and we need to get, oh, my fingers look really dark. Okay, and we need to get a by itself, all we got to do is take the square root. Okay, so a is going to equal a positive or a negative 81. Okay, I said 81. Oh my gravy, it's 9. I was just joking, just trying to see if you was paying attention. All right, so that's going to be our answer. We'll have a positive 9 and a negative 9. Give me a second, I want to do another one a little bit harder. Okay, so this one here, we have z minus 6 squared equals 25. So what we're going to do is some of the same steps. Now, we cannot subtract 6 from z. That won't work. So what we have to do is deal with the exponent. So to deal with the exponent, we have to take the square root on both sides. So what's going to happen is we'll be left with z minus 6 equals a positive or a negative 5. Okay, we still are not done with getting z by itself. Okay, so at this point what we're going to do is add 5 on both sides. Okay, so z, why did I say I am messing up? I guess I'm just a little sleepy. Okay, I don't know, I'm tripping. We add 6, y'all. After this, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Life is all about making mistakes. You get knocked down, you get back up again. Okay, so z is going to equal, now we got a 6 here. We added 6. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. There's 2 ways that we write this thing. We can write this as 6 plus 5 and 6 minus 5. We got 2 solutions. We got 2 roots. We got 2 x-intercepts. Okay, so what's going to happen is, why I leave off the z? Z equals 11 and z equals 1. That's our final answers right there. You're probably thinking, that escalated quickly. Okay, now I have this one. It's x squared minus 11x equals negative 30. Okay, now, we didn't do one like this. But it's important that you see it. Because what happens is, right now, we got 30 over here. Everything we did in class was in standard form, meaning 30 goes over there. So to get 30 over there, we're going to add 30 on both sides. Okay, so we're going to be left with, and I don't know what that is. Okay, I don't. Okay, x squared minus 11x plus 30 equals 0. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to take this little section over here and I'm going to set up my x. Okay, I need to figure out, and I know you already know this part, so I'm going to put it over here. Oh, you can't see. Okay, so a is going to be 1, b is going to be negative 11, and c is going to be a positive 30. So now right here, we're going to do, I'm going to tell you, is a times c. So here we have 1 times 30, which is just 30. What I need now is going to be 2 numbers that went, this pen don't show good, I need to put this one back. Okay, I need 2 numbers that when they multiply, they equal 30, yet those same 2 numbers, b in this case, is negative 11. When I add those exact same 2 numbers, it has to equal negative 11. Okay, so those 2 numbers that equal 30, let's see. I'm going to do a little extra right now. Miss Gable about to be doing the most, okay? Over here, we can put factors that equal 30, okay? We got 1 times 30. No way you would get 11 if you add that. 2 times 15, close. 13 or 17, nope, won't work. 3 times 10, 30, I'm sorry, that's going to be 7 or 13. There's no 4 that will work, so we will go to 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6, my last two factors. So in this case, it's going to be 5 and 6. And 5 and 6. Okay, but the only difference is we got positive 30. 5 times 6 is positive 30. 5 plus 6 is positive 11. So to make it a negative, keep in mind, a negative 5 times a negative 6 will give you positive 30, and a negative 5 plus a negative 6 will give you negative 11. So just like that, we have our two factors. Our two factors are negative 5 and a negative 6. What goes in front? Okay, and we have just made our factor form for our quadratic. But we have to do one more thing. Okay, because it says solve, so we're looking for a solution. Okay, what I'm going to do is continue this on the next page because I ran out of space, so give me a second. So it asks you to solve the equation, which, you know, we can totally do. The only thing is that here, and I hope you saw that this is an intercept form. Okay, the factor form is the intercept form. Okay, so what happened in this case is, remember, we inside the parentheses. Inside the parentheses is the horizontal move, and also it's always opposite. So P and Q in this case will be 5 and 6. If you don't believe me, here's how we prove it. We set x minus 5 equal to 0, and then we do x minus 6 equals 0. So we try to figure out what number minus 5 equals 0 by adding 5 on both sides, and we get x equals 5. And then over here, we would add 6 on both sides, and we would get x equals 6. So these two numbers right here represents a lot of stuff. You ready? There's 4 words that represents those two numbers. Okay, those words are, well, it's an intercept form, but you got to know which one it is. That's your x-intercepts. Okay, those are also the roots. Those are solutions and zeros. Okay, if you don't believe me, give me just 1 second. Type my graph in, you type yours in, or just wait till you come to tutoring and do it or in class. You hit enter, and it doesn't really matter, okay? But long is what it look like, but you gotta focus on the intercepts there. And I'm holding it at a slant because this light is really doing a number on it. Okay, nope, that's terrible. Okay, but I hope what you can see is that here at 5 and 6, a positive 5 and 6, we have x-intercepts. But if you want to verify it, we press Control and then the letter T. Okay, let's see. All right, and at 5, 0, this is not working. 5, 0, you got a point. 6, 0, you got a point. Look at that. All right, now one more thing. Hold on. I just removed the table, okay? I pressed menu and then got rid of the table that way. Okay, now what I want to show you again is just reiterating, since this is factor form and this one is standard form, if we want to know if they're equivalent, we have our graph there for the intercept form, and we're going to press tab, and then we're going to just type in what you see there. X squared minus 11x plus 30. Everything got to be on one side. Okay, and then I press enter, and you see it overlaps. It's the exact same graph. That lets us know that we did it right. Okay, now this is your lesson from November 14th. As always, I'm here to help you. Ms. Gable loves you very much. Don't forget to smile. If you need some help, come to tutoring Mondays and Thursdays after school.